a flame in the dark. The rain had been falling non-stop since morning. The small brick house at the edge of town, with its slanted roof and damp wooden walls, echoed with the steady drumming of raindrops, a sound that usually calmed Ethan. He lived there with his wife Claire and their 5-year-old son Noah. For 3 years their life had been simple: work, school, weekend shopping, movie nights, and quiet sleep in a room that smelled faintly of wood and baby shampoo. Ethan was a bank employee, an organized man who always carried a small notebook in his coat pocket. Claire was a primary school teacher with a soft voice that lingered gently through the night. Noah loved drawing, especially with his red crayon, filling his pages with suns, little houses, and bright flickering flames. They were a normal family, completely normal, until the night the power went out. The wind whistled through the gap in the window frame. The clock struck 9:45 when suddenly the lights went out. Darkness swallowed the house, leaving only the dim, trembling glow of the candle Claire had lit. Noah's wide eyes caught the flicker. "Daddy, it's dark," he whispered. Ethan smiled. "It's okay, buddy. The power's just out. It's like a game, right?" But that night, beneath the rain and their breathing, there was another sound, faint, like paper brushing against wood, coming from the basement. Ethan ignored it at first, until it came again, in rhythm. 3 soft scrapes, a pause, then 3 more. "Maybe it's a mouse," Claire suggested. "Maybe," Ethan said, though he knew no mouse made sounds that deliberate. He picked up a flashlight and went down the basement stairs. The basement air was thick and damp, smelling of wet earth and old wood. The flashlight beam slid across the stairs, and shadows bent and stretched along the walls. Each creaking step echoed like a breath. At the bottom stood stacks of boxes, an old tool shelf, and, in the far corner, a small metal door, lower than usual, like an old access hatch. He'd never noticed it before. The scraping came again, right from behind it. Ethan approached and lifted the light. The door was dusty, its edges darkened, scorched as if someone had held a flame against it. He touched the metal. It was warm. Behind him something fell, a soft clatter from the shelf. He spun around, shining the light wildly. Nothing. Just silence. When he climbed back up, Noah was standing at the top of the stairs, eyes wide. "Daddy," he said, "it was glowing down there." Ethan froze. "What was?" "The little door," Noah whispered. "I saw a red light, like fire." The next morning was gray and still. The power was back, but the house carried a strange scent, not smoke, not burnt food. Something between melted wax and overheated rubber. "Maybe it's from the candle," Claire said. Ethan nodded, but deep down, he knew this smell wasn't from a candle. It was too bitter. At work, his ears kept burning, and a low hiss seemed to follow him. When he came home, Noah had drawn another picture, their house with red windows, and in the basement, a glowing red flame. "Who told you to draw that?" Ethan asked. "No one," the boy said, still coloring. "It told me." Ethan frowned. "Who's it?" "The one who lives down there," Noah said quietly. "The one I woke up." After that night, the house was never the same. Claire noticed framed photos shifting slightly on the walls. Some nights they heard faint footsteps downstairs, bare feet, slow and deliberate. Once, Ethan woke to the sound of breathing right next to his ear. The room was icy, the air heavy, the kind of air that feels like someone's been crying there for a long time. He looked at the clock. 3:03 a.m. The exact time Noah said it, "Wakes up." He got out of bed. A dim red glow was seeping from under the basement door, flickering, as though something alive was moving behind the walls. Ethan went down the stairs. The smell of burning grew stronger. The metal door was half open, its frame blackened. He opened it wider. Hot, dry air rushed out, and deep inside, something glimmered. Not quite fire, not quite light. A bit of swirling red flame that didn't illuminate so much as consume. And through the crackling came a faint voice, slow, broken, whispering his name. Ethan. He ran upstairs, slammed the basement door, and locked it. Claire was awake now. What happened? There's something down there, he gasped. A flame, like it's alive. She tried to laugh it off, but when she went to check, only gray smoke seeped from under the door, smelling faintly of burnt wax. The next morning, a gas technician came to inspect the house. He checked every pipe, every vent, and finally said, "No leaks." But, strange thing, the temperature down there's higher than it should be. No reason for it. That night, Noah developed a fever. In his delirium, he whispered, "He wants to come up, Daddy." He said when the flame dies, he wakes. 2 nights later, the power went out again, this time across the whole neighborhood. The rain had stopped. Silence swallowed everything. Claire whispered, "Let's go to the neighbors." Ethan shook his head. "No, I need to make sure that thing's gone." He lit a match and went down. Each step echoed sharply in the dark. When he reached the bottom, the metal door stood open, but there was no glow, only blackness. He sighed in relief and raised his flashlight. The walls were cool and smooth now. Then behind him, a soft voice said, "Daddy, it's not gone." He turned. The flashlight beam fell on Noah, or what looked like Noah. The boy's skin was dark and cracked, his eyes glowing like 2 embers. His mouth hung open, red light spilling out. "Ethan," Claire's voice called from upstairs. "Is Noah with you?" Ethan shouted, "Don't come down." But it was already too late. When the police arrived the next morning, the smell of smoke still clung to the air. The basement door was open, the walls unburnt, yet black ash coated the edges. Only Claire was found, sitting motionless on the basement steps, her hands black with soot, her eyes wide and empty. She kept repeating, "It wasn't gone. It just changed shape." The official report called it an electrical fire. Ethan and Noah were declared dead from smoke inhalation, but one firefighter later added to his notice, "No visible burn marks on the stairs. Just a ring of ash around the metal door, and a smell, like hot wax, like something alive." 3 months later, a new family moved in, a young couple with their 3-year-old daughter. On their first night, the father was cleaning the basement when he noticed a small metal door at the far end of the wall. It was dusty, but faintly warm. He pressed his palm to it. From behind the metal came a faint sound. 3 slow scrapes. A pause. Then 3 more. "Daddy," the little girl called from the top of the stairs. "There's a red light down there. It's pretty. What is it?" He smiled. "Just the reflection of my flashlight, honey." But later that night, after everyone had fallen asleep, a soft red glow seeped out from under the little door. It crawled up the wall, spreading faint warmth, and in the stillness of the house came the sound of breathing, slow, steady, patient. And in that silence, a whisper murmured, low and trembling, "The flame never dies. It just finds someone new."